No, that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
So really for me, it kind of opens up that dialogue that I think really needs to be had. Like people need to speak more and be angry less and like really
I
hear each
agree.
other,
I
really hear each
agree,
other.
right? It's
Yeah,
very negative because I watch too many documentaries at the moment. Too much. My brain is just it's full of those. Maybe I only see this at the moment. Also the negative because I
yeah,
watch too
yeah,
many documentaries, really good ones. But yeah, it's scary. It's scary because also you can't win against some of these people. You can't have a dialogue, and this is the
right.
scary part actually. Because if you have beliefs and you can have a conversation about it and be like, okay, agree to disagree, and it's fine. But when you know,
Exactly.
it's not like this anymore, or never was. I don't know, but it's now it's getting really tricky where everything gets more and more separated, right?
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
there's no getting along. There's no. It's just getting more and more and more.
All right, guys, this is Ryan with Ethereal Metal, and I'm here today with Ambre of Xandria, and we're going to be discussing their upcoming EP, Universal Tales, coming out November 22nd via Napalm Records. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So the last time we saw each other was you were in New York City's Irving Plaza, and you were on tour with Windrose. How'd the rest of that tour go?
It was really amazing. They brought so many people to their show, so it was really a really good experience. And yeah, I really loved it. I always
Nice.
love
That's cool.
touring the US in general. It's
Yeah,
my
of course.
favorite place.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to hear that. So before we chat about Universal Tales, I always like to start off by asking, what have you been listening to personally?
Um, hmm. Yeah, just a few bands on repeat. The new Oceans of Slumber album is out, so
Of
I'm
course.
listening to it on repeat.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite band. The new Unleash the Archers, also one of my favorite bands. The Last Judas Priest and the new Nightwish. That basically, like, yeah, a summary of what I've been
Awesome.
listening to.
Nightwish's new album is great. It reminds me a lot
Yeah.
of their older stuff. Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. So having been the voice of Xandria now for a little over 2 years, how has this journey impacted you personally and creatively, especially as you explore the new depths within Universal Tales?
Um, you mean as a singer, as an artist?
Yeah, yeah, as a singer. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the more we release songs and the more we record things and the better I get, of course. It's practice makes you better. So it's a way of practicing in a way and to really understand more and more and more the songs and the identity of the band while putting my own personality in it. And I think now we really have a good way. It came quite naturally, so it's quite easy. But yeah, it makes me a better performer. I think to combine all of this to make progress and to just continue making music and to play shows also. It's really important.
Yeah, no, cool. That's cool. Universal Tales kind of showcasing the evolution of the band. What was it like for you and the band to step into new sounds and themes? And were there any like levels of fear or excitement in pushing beyond traditional symphonic metal?
Yeah, you're right. We tried a little few things a little bit different here and there. It was a good opportunity for an EP to, you can be a little bit more adventurous somehow. It doesn't need to be a full album with a full vision, like one concept, one vision. So it was a little bit
Exactly.
fun to put a few different songs and to play around. And yeah, we really like what we have done with Universal. We have a little bit more poppy, a little bit more that kind of poppy catchy chorus, which I love. I think it really suits my voice. So of course we will continue doing this, but always having that bombastic sound and always having a little bit
Yeah,
of operatic vocals here and there, because we found a good way to combine it. And then you have the traditional songs like No Time to Live Forever. This is for the
exactly.
old
Yeah.
time fans, of Nightfall and Reborn and who loves the operatic. So we still can do this. And yeah, a little bit more Celtic things, like we pushed it really into the Celtic song with 200 years.
200 years.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Live the Tale is also quite different. I don't think Xandria has ever had a song like this. It's a little bit more that kind of old school rock kind of a little
Yeah, for
vibe
sure.
to it. So yeah, it was fun to explore different fields.
Yeah, no, definitely. So the song Universal itself kind of, so I know it was dedicated to, I don't want to pronounce her name wrong, but I believe it's Gina Masha Amini.
Mhm.
Um, so it advocates for freedom and diversity. What does it mean to you to give voice to such powerful themes? And how do you feel music can inspire change in the world?
Mm. Yeah, it's a good question. I think music it's a good tool in a way, even though it sounds negative, but in the way of giving a message out, for the people and to unite everybody on that message. Meaning that if you say something like, yeah, we will fight for our rights and we are equal and things like this, it's just simple, but at the same time it just gets the message out there for everyone to unite over it and to understand it and to be like, yeah, you're right, to remember it. So it's
Yeah,
always a good tool, in my opinion, to have lyrics that you can listen and feel and understand and be, yeah, it's a good message, rather than something negative, of course. So I think it's
yeah, of course.
important.
Yeah,
You don't always have to do this. I think it will become too much if all the songs had a political message, and you need to be diverse in that too. You can't just push it to the maximum, otherwise also people stop listening. But having a few songs with where you feel like this is the song to get that message out there, I think it's a really good opportunity to take, and I think we will always take that chance.
yeah, it's important to get these kind of messages out. People need to hear it more, I think. Um, so, Live the Tale suggests hope amid darkness. What tales or dreams do you hold close that keep you motivated to create? And how does this resonate with what you want to communicate through your art?
Huh. Ooh, that's a deep question. Um, yeah, I mean, the dreams that I have are just continuing making music and singing and performing and touring. Touring is one of my favorite things to do in this entire world. I love the adventure. It's exhausting, but it's just
Absolutely.
one of the best thing, really. So this for me, I want to continue. I want to push it further. I want to, I don't need uh, so much time off. I can do it a lot
Right,
more.
right.
So this is what I'm aiming for. It's not easy, of course, and you need to take time off to also write the music. You need to continue doing certain things, but yeah, I would love to become better and better, and this is the chance also for that. The more you perform, the more you sing, the better you get. So yeah, all combined like this, just continuing doing this.
No Time to Live Forever. I know you had just mentioned that a moment ago. It speaks to like community struggle with reason and tribalism almost. How do you personally reconcile the dark and hopeful elements of today's world? And do you find hope in the music as well?
Yeah, at the moment it's a little bit difficult to be hopeful and to be positive, I have to admit.
Yeah,
There's so much negative things going on, very sad things, and it's just keep on happening. Even just natural catastrophes like floods and things
absolutely.
just every day, and it's hard at the moment for me to be positive. I know that Marco is a little bit better at seeing the positive end of things while I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in the damp, and so I'm like that. I'm liking the fact that he can just continue having that positivity in the
Mm,
music,
yeah,
despite we have the same conversation about all the negative things and politics, religion, and all the negative side of it, the extreme side of it. And he has a good way of still having a positive message in the end, while I tend to stay on the it's awful, it's sad, and it's just we are gonna die.
we're all
So
going.
yeah, it's a little
Yeah, yeah.
bit, yeah, I'm a little bit I don't know. It's not that I'm not a positive person, you know. I'm really a positive person, but once I get into my emotions and the more melancholic side of things and sad and you know sensitive, I find it hard to find a way, you know, out. So that's why I'm glad he wrote those lyrics. He found a
Yeah,
very
yeah,
good way. He had very good ideas, so that was good.
yeah. No, that's great because so for me personally, I feel like music has always had that power for me, where I get in these moments where it's exactly like you said, like the end, like everyone's just gonna like it's just gonna get worse and worse.
Yeah.
I find that music has always had that power to lift to lift me and to lift many people out of that kind of thought process. Yeah,
It's true, me too, actually. I rely on that. So it's funny that
for
sometimes I'm
sure.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking, okay, maybe I'm not gonna write this song, the lyrics for it, because I'm just a little bit too sad or too, you know. So yeah, that's why Marco had it had the good ideas. He had all the ideas. So
yeah,
let
yeah,
him write for this EP all the lyrics. In the next album, I will share because I'm looking forward to it. I have things to say, so I'm looking forward to write more lyrics. But yeah, this time of year, I was a little bit okay. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna give a positive message really at the moment.
right,
Yeah.
right, for sure. So I know earlier you had mentioned some Celtic roots as well, and 200 years. When I first heard the promo, 200 years. I've always loved like that folk metal feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that Celtic atmosphere, kind of the spirit. Um, Also, I think it has something to do with Outlander as well, right?
Yeah. He
Yeah,
loves
yeah, yeah.
Marco,
That's what I
really
thought.
loves the series, and also he went to Scotland, so he
Uh-huh.
got really inspired by the story, by the history, and everything. So yeah, that made sense to have a song like this then.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought it brought like a very distinct flavor to the EP.
Mm.
How would you say exploring these cultural and historical elements deepen your personal connection to the music and storytelling as a whole?
Yeah, I love this. I love to put different elements. It makes the music deeper and have more depth and more diversity. I love diversity.
Yeah,
Personally, I think it's very important. And nowadays, we kind of start to lose it more and more because bands are have that recipe. They are successful with it, so why would they change, right? I mean, I could
yeah.
really
They keep doing it.
understand it
Yep.
at the same time,
Yeah.
but I can't digest things that are just the same and the same and the same, you know? So I think it's really important. And when you explore different cultures and different, histories of countries and anything like this, it brings depth and diversity to your music and to your inspiration. And Marco does that also really well. We both bring some diversity to it from inspirations and things we like and fascination that we have for different countries or, you know, culture. I love the Oriental sound and the aesthetic and the culture.
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah.
close to it. So I always like the music. I always like to have some Oriental, vibe in the music. That's why we had the Red Abyss. No, what Asteria? Sorry, that was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
that was the working title of Asteria. It was called the
Ah,
Red Abyss. And somehow
nice.
it just so yeah,
Little
okay,
backstory on that. That's cool.
yeah. I was like, wait, no, that's not the title of the song. So yeah, that's why it had the Oriental touch. And now we have the Celtic coming from Marco. He loves it. So
Yeah,
I think it will
yeah.
be a recurring thing in Xandria in the future. It was in the past, but maybe it will become a little bit more here and there.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. That's great. Cool. And I know Ali Storch on violin adds for me mesmerizing dimension.
Mm.
What's been the most rewarding part about collaborating with such artists, and how do they enrich the stories?
Yeah, they really do because they play real instruments. So this is
Yeah,
already something that you can hear. It's not easy to get when you have so much orchestra. You can't have it all real unless you are Nightwish or things or bands like this. But we try as much as possible when
sure.
we think it's necessary. Like a Celtic song, you gotta have some whistle, you gotta have some instruments, and we have also a player that is playing those Celtic instruments. So it brings some authenticity to the song. So this is really important. We see the player will also be in the video. Alice Torch is also in the video. We will release a video for 200 years. That's our next single. So they're all
I was
in
going to
there.
ask that next.
So it's a very special song and a very special video. And yeah, I think it's important for being authentic.
That's awesome. And can you share who the instrumentalist was?
Actually, I don't have his name right now on my.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't have his name right now. I don't know why I went blank. I was searching for it before I was talking, and then I was like, crap. But yeah,
it's like, what is it again?
We will credit. He lives not too far away. He has been on Xandria album since the beginning. He's the one who is playing. So we always collab with him. So yeah, we will share all of this.
All right, that's awesome. Cool. So you personally, you're known for a vocal range that spans anywhere from grit, operatic highs, and even like these tremendous growls as well. What emotions or moments inspire you to use these different aspects of your voice, and how can you say that they connect with the fans?
Yeah, it was something I always loved to do, like screams and growls, and I did that before long. I was 15 years old, I think, when I discovered that. Listening to Amorphis, and and later Arch Enemy also, and I was like, okay, this is something I really love to do. I wasn't very good at it in the beginning, of course, but practice makes not perfect but better. So I continued this. So it was a natural thing that okay, she can do this. It's metal. We have parts where it could sound really great. Let's just do it. And for me, I think it's also part of bringing some new little thing. That's the new Xandria. We have the old elements. We have still some operatic vocals. We have still the bombastic elements. It will stay Xandria, but we have that little new thing that came with the new lineup, with the new singer.
Yeah, sure.
It works well. And most of the fans like it. I understand when some people don't. I understand it's not for everybody. Metal is so diverse. You don't have to love screams or growl to love metal. But most of them likes it. Like 99%, I would say, are okay with it.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, they're okay with it.
And hearing it live as a compliment to you, hearing it live, it's incredibly powerful as well. So you can tell that you really are exploring like the different facets of your vocals as well. Yeah. So so you can see that for sure. So I wanted to ask, Xandria's message is one of defiance against authoritarianism. What personal experiences or beliefs fuel your passion for this theme? And how do you hope it resonates with audiences who might feel silenced?
Yeah, that's a tricky topic. We can discuss this for hours. I'm very anti anything extreme. So meaning that if you go to the extreme side of one field or one topic, I'm just not into it. So whether it's religion, whether it's politics, and unfortunately we have a lot more of this coming to the surface now, gaining power. So I think it's time to talk about it and to speak up, and because it's really I don't really think it's the right way to go at all. We're going backward. So music and the lyrics are good, opportunity to talk about this, and I think it's important to do it at the moment. So yeah. What was the rest of the question?
No, that was pretty much it. So really for me, it kind of opens up that dialogue that I think really needs to be had. Like people need to speak more and be angry less, and like really hear each other. Really hear each other.
Right? It's very negative because I watch too many documentaries at the moment. Too much. My brain is it's full of those. Maybe I only see this at the moment. Also the negative, because I watch too many documentaries, really good ones. But it's scary. It's scary because also you can't win against some of these people. You can't have a dialogue, and this is the scary part actually. Because if you have beliefs, and you can have a conversation about it and be like, okay, agree to disagree, and it's fine. But when it's not like this anymore, or never was. I don't know, but it's now it's getting really tricky where everything gets more and more separated, right?
Yeah,
there's no getting along. It's just getting more and more anger. So
yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to ask, with each new project that Xandria does, particularly with Universal Tales, do you feel that you've been able to reveal new parts of yourself?
Yeah, I think I always do this on every new song, on every new, especially an album,
Yeah,
on EP. Yeah, because in the meantime, of course, I continue to work on myself, so I make progress and I continue to explore little things and tricks and how to, how to sound like this, because on this it will sound really good if I could do this. So I
right,
always
right.
explore more, and the songs are different. There's always new things that it's requiring from you, right? Like
Yeah, sure.
to tell the song, for example, I was like, okay, that would really fit to have that kind of. I'm gonna say it. It doesn't sound like this, but this was kind of the inspiration behind this, like that those power metal scream like Rob Halford and things like this,
Yeah, Rob
Judas
Halford. Yeah,
Priest,
yeah,
So I was like, okay, this would work here. Of course, I'm not gonna sound like him. I'm gonna sound like me. I'm not a power metal screamer, but yeah, it's a fun thing to explore. And yeah, so the songs always ask for different things and new things, which I love. This is the
yeah,
most
yeah.
exciting things in the studio, of course.
And it keeps it diverse too. So like kind of mentioning what you said earlier about how bands who find this, magic formula, they kind of just stick with it. But there's a lot of diversity in the way that Zandria does their music. So I think that's really cool.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So this EP spans orchestral, Celtic, and even metal elements, like you were saying. How do you connect with these diverse sounds emotionally? And do you have any thoughts about how you want fans to kind of travel through these musical landscapes?
Um, Obviously, I really love the songs, how they turn out, and yeah, I hope the fans can also appreciate. It's not a full album. I know that some people don't pay too much attention when it's not an album, but I think it's worth listening, because um, it's still some evolution going on in a good way, and people can
Yeah,
also, the EP was kind of the chance to see what people really really like also, because we really listen to that. So it's trying a few different things and see how people enjoy this, because then it can motivate us for the future. If they say, oh my god, this part in this song where you do this and with this kind of elements together, amazing. And if we see it coming up and coming up, we're like, okay, people really love this. So if we get
yeah,
the
yeah,
chance to do this again, we will do it again. And we can't control, the creativity, but you can direct it a little bit. You have some
sure.
freedom in the process, right? So we can always make things the best way for us and make also the best way for the fans. And that's why we kind of always ask questions on social media. Do you like this? What do you like most? And it's really
Yeah, yeah,
not just an act. It's really, I take notes.
yeah. It's engaging,
I
definitely.
take notes and I
Yeah,
really listen to the people, and then when there's something I remember, I remember that people really pointed that out, that they love this. Let's do this again when we get the chance. Or the song, yeah, this, we can do this part. I know the people will love this. So it's work. We work together. It's not only us. We make the music. We give it to the fans. You like it or not, it doesn't matter. It's really a shared experience.
yeah, which is awesome. That's cool. So as you prepare to release this to the world, what would you hope that the EP would mean to fans? And if you were to pick one feeling or message that you want them to take from it, what would it be?
Huh. Well, huh. Mm, just I don't know really one. I don't know really, because it's so diverse, right? Just
Yeah,
accept
right. Yep.
diversity maybe, and yeah, just let it happen. Don't just see how they feel about it. Experience with an open mind. It's always what you want, right? For an album,
Absolutely.
people
Yeah.
can experience it with an open mind and give it a few listen. Like for the Nightwish album, it took me at least 6 listens to be. This is amazing. At
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
very confused. Because it's so complex. It's
Very
very
complex.
complex.
Yeah.
It's very new, and the singles even didn't make so much sense for me without the album context. But then you listen to the album and you're like, it's a movie. Now I get it. It's a
Yeah.
story that is
Yep.
developing, and this song now and this chorus, which as a single maybe I found it a little bit strange. Now I understand it. And I was seeing a lot of negative reviews right away. Like the day it was released, the next day, and I was like, "There's no way you can have this," because at first, for example, one of the single, the chorus is like, I don't know about this, you know.
Yeah.
And then now, like, it's great. You need to give it a little bit of time sometimes when you need some listens. And I realized that the songs that requires the most listen to get it are the ones that I end up liking in the end the most.
Right. No, that's true.
I don't know if you have that too.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
When I had the promo for the Nightwish album, there was so like the day of, for example, when that
Me
song
too. That's the chorus I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, hearing the single, I was like, all right, well, this is different. This is okay. This is kind of interesting. Yeah. But then hearing it from start to finish, I'm like, oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah. That's exactly the song I was talking about.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling it was. I wasn't sure, but yeah. All right, cool. So lastly, I wanted to ask, in just 4 months, you're going to be back in the US as direct support for your label mates, Delane. And also you're going to be with Edge of Paradise. What are you most looking forward to?
I love touring the US. Getting back, it's my happy place. It's strange, right? Because I'm not from the US, but it's my happy place. I feel completely free. I love the fans. They are so respectful, and I don't know, there's something about it that it's a little bit different from Europe mentality wise, and the way they listen to music, and the way they I don't know, it's a little bit different. I'm not saying it's better, but I connect with it a lot. So awesome. I love touring the US. I'm really looking forward to. With Delay, we are friends, so you know, it's gonna be really fun.
That's awesome. Ambre, thank you so much again for your time. Definitely looking forward to seeing you all in New York in March, and it's going to be a great tour. For those watching, please be sure to pre-order and pre-save Universal Tales. There's going to be a link below. Thanks again so much.
Thank you so much for having me.